Connecticut. You're recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and welcome, Mr. Secretary, over here. Good to have you with us today. Secretary, in February of last year, during your tenure as acting director of the CFPB, you instructed the staff to suspend all rulemaking, litigation, communications, and enforcement actions. One of the rules that was in process at CFPB was a rule that would have capped credit card late fees at $8 for large issuers. I understand there's an agency process. Do you have a personal view as to the wisdom of an $8 cap on late fees?
I do not.
You have no view. Okay. The president recently proposed a 10% cap on credit card interest rates. That's caused a certain amount of interest in this institution because presumably it would require legal action. So as Treasury Secretary, what are the plus and minuses of that proposal? Do you have a personal view on the wisdom of that proposal?
The president is interested in affordability for the American people, and I think his view is that banks have done very well, and that by capping the rate for 1 year, it would give the American people the chance to recover from the horrible Biden inflation of 22%.
We were both in the finance business for a long time. Is there any possibility, any risk that such a cap would actually have a pretty constrictive effect on the availability of credit, especially to subprime borrowers?
Again, I think that would be very important to examine as it's being put in. But Congressman, what we've seen over time is credit cards used to compete on what was known as APR, the financing rate, and now they compete on rewards. And what we have seen is that the APR, as you said, the subprime borrowers are paying higher APR, and the upper-end borrowers are getting more rewards. So maybe there is a calculus here on how to diminish the rewards and cut the APR.
When you were asked a similar series of questions, you gave a similarly careful answer, but you said that there were bad actors in the, I think you said you were referring to credit card companies. Who are those bad actors?
I'm not going to name them.
So you'll tell us that they exist, but you won't tell the Congress who they are so that we might undertake some oversight.
I think you have very large investigative committees.
Okay, let me shift gears here. So many years ago, working with then colleagues John Carney and John Delaney, we put together a proposal for the removal from conservatorship of the GSEs. Last fall, as you'll undoubtedly recall, there was a roundtable held at Treasury around an issue that is really critical, which is housing and its affordability, and the fact that we need to build a whole lot more housing. The conclusion from that roundtable, as I understood it, was really one theme, which is do no harm. Over the past year, the President and Director Pulte, however, have tweeted a host of utterly chaotic proposals for the GSEs, including an immediate IPO, 50-year mortgages, ending special purpose credit programs, rapidly exiting the conservatorship, stripping away the GSE's housing goals. I could go on and on and on. Mr. Pulte seems to have appointed himself the inquisitor of people like Letitia James and Adam Schiff. And apart from making a political point here, I'm trying to point out that we have a crisis in this country around housing affordability. The HUD Secretary was in here the other day using terms like, I'm going to encourage the building of additional housing. So my question for you in my final minute, what should we be doing right now with respect to the GSEs so that the GSEs can create a lot less risk for the American people than they represent in the conservatorship, but so that they are a vibrant part of an expanding housing growth sector?
Good. So, Congressman, I would point out that the market is the ultimate arbiter, and the spread between mortgages and treasuries, despite your statements, is the lowest that it's been in many years. So
yeah, but that's because the mortgages are effectively guaranteed by the federal government. That's not surprising. That's trivial. But my question is, what should we be doing right now?
But the spread is lower than it was this time last year, and it was guaranteed last year.
Let me repeat my question, Mr. Secretary. You're an expert in the field. What should we be doing right now to assist in the production of additional housing?
It is a very complicated question, but the most important thing that has happened is we now see mortgages touched a 3-year low in January. So I think getting down the payments and again, moving toward Fannie and Freddie eventually leaving conservatorship, and our North Star